And now, it is my pleasure to introduce David Collyer, our recently appointed chair of the Bow Valley College Board of Governors. David Collyer is the president of the Canadian Association of Petroleum Producers. He served as president and country chair for Shell in Canada. And during this 30-year career with Shell, Mr. Collyer held a broad range of technical, business, and senior leadership roles. He was also Director Supply Branch at the National Energy Board in Ottawa in an executive exchange assignment for 2 years. Mr. Collyer has a Bachelor of Science in Engineering and MBA from the University of Alberta. He's a member of the Association of Professional Engineers, Geologists, and Geophysicists of Alberta and the Society of Petroleum Engineers. We're very proud to have Mr. Collyer chair our Board of Governors, and he will now come forward to say a few words and bring greetings on behalf of the board. Mr. Collyer.
Thanks very much, and good afternoon to colleagues on the board, to President Carey, to the vice presidents, to the faculty and staff, friends and family, and most particularly to the graduates. This is the first graduation ceremony that I've had the pleasure of attending as chair of the board of Bow Valley College. I'm really appreciative of the opportunity to play a small part in the continuing success of the college and in the ceremony today. I think this is a great institution with great leadership, very strong faculty, and from where I sit, one that really does make a difference in the lives of its learners, and I think that's evident in the graduating class today. On behalf of my colleagues of the Bow Valley College Board of Governors, it is my distinct pleasure to extend greetings to everyone, and in particular to recognize the important achievements of the college's graduating class. And graduates, I'd like to begin by recognizing and congratulating your teachers, your counselors, your family members, and friends who've supported and encouraged you on your educational journey. None of us, no matter where we are in our lives and our careers, arrive here alone. Each and every one of us relies on the counsel, the support of friends, family, and colleagues. And I'd really encourage each of you who are graduating today to take a moment to thank those who've helped you along the way and are in part responsible for the success you're enjoying today. And for those who are graduating today, this is the culmination of a lot of effort, your skills, your commitment over the past number of months and years. It's also a reflection, I think, of the insight and experience you've gained through your relationships both inside and outside the college. No doubt you've each faced many challenges. You've perhaps at times questioned whether the effort was worth that which you were putting into the work that you've done over the past number of months. However, you have persevered, and you've made it to a very important juncture in your lives. And I encourage you to pause, take a moment, enjoy the sense of accomplishment, and reflect upon the effort that you have put into achieving the success that all of us are recognizing today. Reflect on the road you've traveled and how much you've changed over that journey. Completing this phase of your education rewards you with new skills, added resourcefulness, and confidence in yourself. You're not the same person you were when you arrived at the doorstep of Bow Valley College, and all of you have very exciting opportunities in front of you. You've got a broad set of new tools and skills that are going to allow you to approach those opportunities with confidence and enthusiasm. The parchment that you will receive today is as much about what you've learned as a person over the past years and months as it is about what you've learned from your discipline. And I think it's important to think about the whole person that graduates today and recognize that both those dimensions will be critically important to your future success. So graduates, on behalf of my colleagues on the Board of Governors, I salute you and your achievements. You've reached a very significant milestone. We wish you continued success as you embark on the next phase of life's journey. Have a wonderful celebration today. Enjoy it, and enjoy the success that we are recognizing with your friends, your family, and your fellow graduates who've helped you achieve the success that we're all here to recognize today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Collyer, for those inspiring words. And I'd like to underscore the point of you recognizing the whole student, because at Bow Valley, it's about learning a better living and living a better life. So thank you very much. You know, when I mentioned the view earlier, and indeed, it's a stunning view looking out here, but if we look a little further, there's a great view of our college, of the new south building in the college. It's like we couldn't have organized it better if we tried. And now it's my privilege, and we are honored to have with us today Ruth Kelly as our keynote speaker at our 2014 graduation. Ruth Kelly is the president and CEO of Venture Publishing and the publisher and editor-in-chief of the award-winning Alberta Venture and Alberta Oil magazines. Ruth currently chairs EPCOR's Community Essentials Councils, is a member of the Alberta School of Business's Advisory Council and the Alberta Promise Cabinet and the Board of Directors of Magazines Canada. In 2014, Ruth is chairing the Capital Region's United Way campaign. Ruth was recognized as a Global Woman of Vision in 1998, a YWCA Woman of Distinction in the Entrepreneur category in 2003, and was the Allard Chair of Business at MacEwan School of Business in 2005. The Canadian Women in Communications selected Ruth for their 2008 Woman of the Year Award, making her the first Albertan to receive this national honor. She received an honorary degree in business from NAIT in 2008, and on the occasion of Venture Publishing's 15th anniversary, the Alberta Magazine Publishers Association awarded her with a Lifetime Achievement in Publishing Award. In addition, in 2013, Ruth received the Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Medal for her contribution to Canada. In the same year, Alberta Women Entrepreneurs awarded Ruth with their Celebration of Entrepreneurial Achievement recognition. We are so fortunate to have Ruth here to speak to you today. Welcome, Ruth.
In the year 1898, my maternal great-grandparents emigrated to Alberta from what was then the Austro-Hungarian Empire. They crossed a turbulent ocean and the vast expanse that was Canada to arrive at what is now Stony Plain, Alberta, where they struck a homestead. They left their home and their friends and their family and came to this strange and sometimes forbidding land because they believed that there could be something better, something sweeter. They believed in a promise of prosperity and justice, in the hope of religious and political freedom, in the potential of a community that spoke of peace and equity and compassion. And so they built their home and farmed their land and learned the language, and while they were never rich, they fed and clothed their family, their children had the chance to go to school, they lived their days in peace, and 116 years later, I have the opportunity to speak with you here today as you embark upon this magnificent adventure that will be the next stage of your life. My great-grandparents were the pioneers of Alberta's first century, but you are the pioneers of Alberta's second 100 years. Your task is not to break land, but to break technological frontiers, not to explore unknown mountain ranges, but to explore the potential of the human mind and spirit. not to discover deposits of gold, but to discover the richness of a society that fosters and encourages diversity and individuality. The opportunities that lie in front of you are truly staggering, unprecedented, actually. You are the generation that will control the richest, most technologically advanced and productive economy that has ever existed. Your choices are essentially unlimited. You are the generation that is going to be able to dictate your own terms for jobs, for social order, for the business and political landscape of our future. Assuming, of course, that you want to do so, that you're sufficiently motivated to seize this opportunity that lies in front of you, and sufficiently cognizant of the responsibility that you will wield it wisely. Let me take a few minutes to help you understand this changing landscape. This province and this country is facing a seismic shift in our workplaces. The boomer generation, in which I firmly rest, is edging towards retirement, with the first boomers reaching 65 3 years ago. The full force of that wave of retirement will hit within the next 15 years, with 4 out of every 5 current employees reaching retirement age. The vacancies will occur in all areas, but will be most notable in senior executive ranks. In addition, 39% of the small business owners in Canada plan to sell their business within the next 5 years, with approximately $1.2 trillion in capital changing hands. And all of those changes are happening here, in a province where abundance seems to flow without thought or effort sometimes. Right now, the best estimates suggest that there's $91 billion worth of major capital projects planned for the next 15 years. Within the next decade, there will be 400,000 new jobs created, and at the current projections, we can foresee 300,000 new employees available to fill those slots, but that leaves a shortfall of over 100,000 people to pick up the tasks necessary to make this economy thrive. For an employer and an entrepreneur like myself, those statistics seem a little scary, but for you, they're nothing but boundless opportunity. Leadership roles in your workplace, in business ownership, in your community, and in your governments will all be available to you. I urge you to consider how you will exercise those leadership opportunities and embrace those personal and professional development choices that will equip you to face this responsibility. Your educational journey here at Bow Valley College is just the first leg of a long path towards success and fulfillment. I challenge you to reflect upon how you can build upon the education you've received to be your best. Not just the best employee or entrepreneur, but the best citizen of Alberta that you can possibly be. I challenge you to consider the unique ways that you individually can enhance our economic, social, political, and cultural well-being, and by doing so, lift our entire population so that everyone can fully participate in Alberta's opportunities. This province was built by brilliant, brave, entrepreneurial individuals who seized their opportunity to carve a future out of this stubborn but abundant land. You are the rightful inheritors of that legacy. I believe with all my heart that you are capable of and eager to create your own exciting, compelling future. You will shape the future Alberta. You can choose to create a province where our incredible prosperity enlightens the lives of all citizens, where we celebrate the diversity of cultures which enrich us all, and provide a welcoming environment that allows all Albertans, first generation and multi-generation, to fully participate in our economy and our community. You can create a cultural and business and political environment that role models to Canada and indeed to the world the values of collaboration and cooperation and harmony. Right now, Alberta is filled with exuberance and energy and boundless confidence in its own abilities. Every opportunity for growth, for wealth, for fulfillment exists. It seems we simply need to reach out and grasp it. But this future that lies before you, this bright and meaningful future, will only come about because you choose to create it. The enemy is complacency, which breeds mediocrity, fear, intolerance, isolation, and despair. The opportunity is to take to heart that you are the most privileged people the world has ever seen. With such immense privilege comes great responsibility to ourselves, to each other, and to our future. This, then, is your task: to boldly envision a future as multi-hued as the rainbows that arch over the Bow River, as serene as a wind-touched canola field, as enduring as the Rockies that etch our borders, and then, with passionate and creative determination, create a pathway for yourself to that future. I believe in you, and I believe you are indeed the prosperous pioneers of Alberta's future. Thank you for allowing me to be here today.
Thank you very much, Ruth, for that message and underscoring the opportunity that lies before our graduands today. In recognition of your contribution to our ceremony and your work and support, we have established the Ruth Kelly Scholarship in your honor, and I'd like to present a certificate indicating that. And now, a few requests before the presentation of our graduates begins. Please remain in the auditorium for the duration of today's ceremony and mute all those electronics that ring or beep or play songs, you know what I mean. And family and friends of graduands, if you wish to take photographs during the ceremony, please come to the front just as your graduate is crossing the stage, and then return to your seat. We must be careful, though, not to block the aisles and the exits, of course. And graduates, you will be given a souvenir certificate on stage today. Your official parchment will be mailed to you as you have completed your program of study. Bow Valley College is a very diverse school with locations here in Calgary and throughout southern Alberta, and with learners from many walks of life engaging in many different types of educational programs and training. And today we will hear from two learners chosen to represent their departments. These student representatives, or valedictorians, are each outstanding learners in their program and have been asked to give a short speech to mark this important occasion. Ardelle Beauchesne is graduating today with a healthcare aide certificate. In 2012, Ardelle chose to leave her job so she could spend more time with her two children as she reevaluated what she wanted to dedicate herself to in the future. Hearing good things about Bow Valley College from friends, she soon saw the strengths in a Bow Valley College education. This experience has ignited in her a desire to continue to learn and better herself. She now envisions herself enrolling in the Licensed Practical Nurse program and continuing to grow with Bow Valley College. Please welcome Ardelle.
Thank you. Good afternoon, platform guests, family and friends, faculty, and of course my fellow graduates. It is an honor here to be standing before you, representing the School of Health, Justice, and Human Services as a healthcare aide graduate of the class of 2014, the first of Airdrie campus. I would like to start with a couple of special thank yous. First, to all the facilitators and support staff. Without your time and dedication, this would not have been possible. You built our confidence, challenged our knowledge, guided us, and motivated us to better ourselves. I thank you. I would like to thank my husband as well, not just for the endless nights of studying with me, or for keeping the kids quiet during my studies, but for being a willing subject in whom I could practice my new skills with. I really, really appreciate it. We all had support from the important people around us, and part of part of our success lies with you, so thank you all. It wasn't long ago that I was at a crossroads in my life. I was without direction, with a big yearning to put my mark on the world. You see, after high school, my life took an unexpected turn, and what was supposed to have been a backup plan career in hair ended up being my main focus for these past 10 years. I decided it was finally time to pursue the life I had always wanted. So I retired a life of heels and hair and quickly exchanged them for a pair of comfortable running shoes and scrubs. I am so happy I started that journey and ended up standing in front of you today. I recently came upon this quote by Douglas Adams. "I may not have gone where I intended to go, but I think I have ended up where I needed to be." I believe this is true for all of us here today. We have all had our ideas of what life was supposed to be, but let's face it, life itself has a tendency of getting in the way pretty fast. But we overcome the challenges that face us, and those experiences make us stronger. We all come from different walks of life, each one of us possessing different talent, ideas, and unique personalities, all of which apply to our paths of work we have been training for. Our system as a whole could not function if any one part was absent. Together, we are the people that help create, educate, counsel, and of course, protect, all bringing so much to this world. During our time here at Bow Valley, we have had the privilege of meeting some amazing people. Whether it was students or faculty, the experiences were wonderful. I have to exclude the needle part. Though it has been a short time in our lives, together we have grown in knowledge, experience, and caught a glimpse of our true potential. I have learned so much about myself, and I think we can all agree each other. Though I did not have the pleasure of knowing everybody, I did share a classroom with some amazing people. We seemed to transform the Airdrie campus into a crazy house at times, with talk of kitchen sinks, instructors sprawled on tables demonstrating one thing or another, or the general mischief we always found ourselves in. I am so glad to have shared those memories with you. Together, we discovered what a little time and understanding can be worth when providing care for another. This world moves fast, and sometimes we lose sight of what is most important: the kindness and understanding we can share with others. But I believe we all are here because we possess these unique qualities. Qualities that can make life brighter, qualities that can bring smiles to faces, qualities that can change lives, lives that can change the world. Gandhi said it best: "Be the change you wish to see in the world." I have truly enjoyed this experience, and I thank you all for being the supporters, the friends, and the mentors we all needed during this time. I am excited to go out into the world and be the change. Possibly pay a few bills along the way as well. I look forward to seeing you all out there. Thank you and congratulations, class of 2014.
Ardelle, you are such a wonderful representative of the School of Health, Justice, and Human Services, and thank you from the audience for acknowledging all the people that are part of your learning journey. That was a fantastic speech, and in recognition, we want to present you with this certificate on behalf of your class and everyone here. Thank you for speaking today.
Thank you.
Come over here. Sure.
Well done, Ardelle. And now, our graduands today will be presented by the department with our School of Health, Justice, and Human Service learners first. will commence with the learners from Justice, and these learners will then be followed from graduates from Human Services and Health. Justice learners. Ah. Yeah. Wasn't that amazing? I mean, the Human Services and Justice grads were so bright and vibrant, and the health program grads so fresh and crisp. It's, I think, Human Services and Justice and Health employment is in good hands with this crop. Where's Vera? Vera? Wave. Vera, oh, there she is. Vera, where's your little girl? Back there. I saw her up at the front, and the look on her face of pride and joy is what every parent and friend and daughter is feeling. It just captured the moment for me. It was wonderful. Well, and now we turn to another great school, and that's the Chu School of Business. You know that cool, reserved group of business. I'd like to introduce Elizabeth Howell. She'll be crossing the stage today as a graduate of business administration specializing in accounting. Elizabeth chose business administration because she knew it would be a rewarding and, more importantly to her, stable career, but with lots of room for advancement. She knew it would also make use of her skill with numbers and her preference for analytical thinking. She was in training to become a full retail manager when she gave up the opportunity for promotion to come to Bow Valley College instead. She made this decision with the hope of training for a more rewarding and satisfying career. While she was nervous starting out at Bow Valley College, she has achieved tremendous success and contributes the majority of that success to the inviting and supportive atmosphere of the college. As she looks forward to starting in a career in accounting in a growing company, she also plans to work towards obtaining her CPA designation part-time. Please welcome Elizabeth.
Thank you. I wanted to start off by saying congratulations, class of 2014. We did it.
Just a little bit shorter than me.
Completing a college program is no easy task, and I know each and every one of you has worked so hard and made so many sacrifices to be here right now. So congratulations. I was convinced when I started at Bow Valley College that I was going to fail. Completely convinced. I had normal student concerns too, such as, will I fit in? Will I make friends? Can I afford it? Will I get a better job? But for the most part, the only thing going through my mind was, don't fail, don't fail, don't fail. This is because the first time I attended college at another institution 7 years ago, I did fail. I couldn't even enter my second year. I've asked myself a lot of questions about the road from believing I might just be able to pass this time if I try hard enough, to being able to stand in front of this many people and say something meaningful or grateful or inspirational. The only thing I really know for sure is I wouldn't be here if it weren't for the many amazing people that I have in my life. all the faculty and staff at Bow Valley College who make the campus such a supportive, inviting place, my fellow classmates who accepted me with open arms and shared my pain, the instructors and staff members in the Choose School of Business who saw something in me and were so persistent in challenging and rewarding me. My family and friends provided me with a shoulder to cry on, a place to live, and lots of loving support. There's no doubt in my mind I wouldn't be here if it weren't for everybody I just mentioned. Thank you. It took me a long time to recover from the embarrassment and defeat of failing college so badly the first time. I have suffered from anxiety disorder for as long as I can remember, and failing something so miserably made me hesitant to take a chance like that again. But I did it. I told myself that there was only one way to prove if I was a failure or a success, and I jumped in with both feet. I started to realize that with hard work and determination, I absolutely could be a success. It was because I had challenged myself to succeed that an opportunity was presented to me. I had an instructor approach me last summer asking if I would like to participate in the Alberta Dean's Business Case competition in my second year. I was honored to be asked, but unsure if I was the right person. He said we could talk about it later, and I didn't have to give him an answer right away. I think I sent him into a panic because it took me until the end of November to finally convince myself that I could do it, long after everybody else had signed on. It was a perfect example of something I've been doing all my life, telling myself I can't do it because I would get too anxious or I don't have the required skills. It turns out we made an excellent team, and while we didn't win, I am still very proud to have been a part of it, to have been able to contribute to the reputation of the Choose School of Business, and to have had such an amazing opportunity to grow my skills and knowledge. When I was first asked to be valedictorian, my initial reaction was, yes, okay. It wasn't until a few days later that I realized what I had just agreed to. I have been a mess of excitement and terror ever since. I was actually asked right before I wrote one of my final exams, and my inner dialogue during that test would have been hilarious if anyone could hear me. I have to tell Matthew, after this test, of course. I had to tell my mom, but right now I'm writing a test. Then I have to call my dad. But let's just finish this test first. Then I'll post it on Facebook so everybody can see. But now's not the time for that. You're supposed to be reading this question. I passed the test, by the way. Once I told everybody on that mental list, that's when I realized what I had done. I had to write a speech and present it. So I did what I've done so many times during my education here. I told myself that it was a challenge. If I didn't think I could do it, then I should try my hardest and prove to myself that I can. The biggest lesson that I have learned, and I know it's something most people here can identify with, is that sometimes the only thing holding us back is ourselves. I came into school convinced that I would fail, and here I stand. I ask that the next time you are presented with a challenge, something you think that you can never achieve, jump in with both feet. I know that in the coming months, we as new graduates will be given lots of opportunities to change, learn, and grow. The next time that you are given one of these chances, challenge yourself to take it. Don't listen to that voice of self-doubt. You will succeed. Thank you.
Well, she's not going to be a mess of nervousness anymore after this. Elizabeth, you spoke so well for the challenges everyone in this room in one way or another has overcome. And thank you for sharing your personal story and for being such a wonderful representative of the Choose School of Business. to remember this occasion, which I'm sure you won't forget anyway, we want to present you with this certificate and thank you very much for representing your class this year. Congratulations, that was very well done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for those heartfelt words. And now let's welcome our Chu School of Business graduates. Please come forward. Well done, Chu School of Business, a very professional group. And now, as we move into the last section of our program, I'd invite you to take your seats again as quickly as possible. And I look forward, it's my honor to introduce our President and CEO, Sharon Carey, to bid our graduates farewell, but definitely not goodbye. The President and CEO of Bow Valley College since 1997, Sharon Carey has led the college through its transition from a provincially administered institution to a public board-governed college. Since then, enrollment has increased significantly. Many new programs have been introduced. The college has expanded to 20 program locations and substantially increased its revenues, largely through its entrepreneurial efforts. A fourth-generation Calgarian, Sharon has completed 3 degrees at the University of Calgary, a Bachelor of Arts, a Bachelor of Education, and a Master's of Communication Studies. Sharon serves as the faculty head for the National Leadership Development Institute, as chairperson of eCampus Alberta, as chair of the Calgary Post-Secondary CEOs Organization, and as a member of the International Women's Forum. In the community, Sharon demonstrates her commitment to business, social innovation, and education by serving on the board of the Calgary Homeless Foundation, as a member of the Council of Champions for the United Way Initiative, Upstart Champions for Children and Youth, and by actively participating in the Calgary Chamber and other civic initiatives. In 2005, the Premier awarded Sharon a Centennial Medal for her contributions to the province of Alberta. The Mayor of Calgary presented her with the 2010 Calgary Award for Education. In 2012, the Lieutenant Governor presented Sharon with the Queen's Diamond Jubilee Medal for her service to post-secondary education and her community. The Association of Canadian Community Colleges presented Sharon with their Distinguished Service Award in 2013. And just this past week, Sharon was the recipient of an honorary degree in Business Administration from SAIT. Please welcome Sharon Carey.
Thank you very much, Hannah Kay, and good afternoon, everyone. It's fabulous to be here on the traditional territory of the Blackfoot Nation, and it's pretty cool to be looking out at our South Campus that you all got to enjoy. But it's Friday the 13th and it's raining, and it's a week before the flood that you went through. I don't know about that part. Well, thank you very much, Ruth Kelly, for your stirring remarks at the beginning of this program. And Anna Kay, you're right, we have grown enormously. Who would have thought we would outgrow the convention center? But it looks like we might have done so. Dave Collyer and I had the great pleasure of shaking hands with every one of you and seeing you smile And today really is about your smiles and the look in your faces and the pride you have in everything you've achieved and the resilience you've shown. And I know that we're all smiling behind you here too, because it's been our pleasure to get to know each one of you and to provide the environment in which you've been able to grow and flourish and develop. I hope you'll look back on your time at Bow Valley College this time as one where you're going to cherish the relationships you've formed here and find great satisfaction in a job well done. And I want to just explore that idea of a job well done just a little bit further. And I don't know if I really want, I admitted this to the people at SAIT, but that's a different story. I don't know if I really want to tell you this. But to put myself through university, I was sort of in the petroleum industry, Dave. I pumped gas. And you're all going, people pumped gas? Other than you pump your own gas? Well, yes, there was a time when people served you at a service station, and that's why they called it a service station. And you might find this a bit hard to believe, but it was actually one of my favorite jobs. And my mother used to say to me, why do you love doing this so much? Because I did it for 2 different oil companies, actually. Well, I think the answer was simple, and it's become my life philosophy: service. When I was pumping gas, I not only learned how to do that, I could check oil and tire pressure and fan belts and look under the hood. Cars weren't so complicated in those days. And I took great satisfaction from giving people extraordinary service every time they pulled up to the pumps. And I was even more thrilled when the boss decided to give us commission for sales. And I can tell you, I outsold all the mechanics. So I have a simple life philosophy, and I've got 2 ideas I want to share with you. The first is that I learned that satisfaction in life and success in business, Choose School of Business, are you listening? Success in business, they both come from providing better service to others. Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore once reflected, I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was service. I acted, and behold, service was joy. Indeed, being of service to others and helping people in need harvests the greatest rewards of empowerment and human connection. We're all social creatures, and our happiness is inextricably linked to our connections. And that's what's making today so meaningful for you, the connections that are in this room celebrating you. And second, we put so much of our lives into our work. We need to be satisfied with it and give the best of who we are every single day. Oh yeah, from time to time I hear complaints about the workday, but don't let this happen to you. Be inspired by what you do. Give the best of who you are and take pride in the opportunity to make a difference. A career should not define you, but you should define your career. Learn as much as you can. Come back to Bow Valley College when you need to learn more. Enjoy the company of your colleagues. They'll be among the most interesting and creative people you're going to meet. Trust what you've learned here at Bow Valley College. You have received a first-class applied education. You are prepared, and you're ready to leave your mark, both in the workplace and in the community. Work is going to be a major part of your life. Do your best every day and apply your skills in new ways to give the best service to others in whatever you're doing, whether it's as a legal assistant, in interior decorating, business administration, events management, practical nursing, pharmacy, recreation therapy, youth justice, law enforcement, addiction services, early learning and childcare, and the list goes on. As you leave today, remember to thank your instructors and the staff in your school, because they were such an important part of your success. And they're joined by our college faculty and staff, including the registrar's office, our IT people, the facilities group, counselors, and many others in celebrating your success today. Cherish this day. It's one of life's sweet moments, and tomorrow will bring you another opportunity to be your best. Now, I have the nicest thing to do at the end of these ceremonies. You can see we are wearing caps and gowns that are a little unusual. Well, this is actually what was worn by academics for more than 1,200 years. It actually dates back to the time when the members of higher education were actually members of the clergy, and it was cold. They didn't have indoor heating. And so this is part of a hood that you would put over your cap to keep warm, and these long gowns, I think these were for hiding things in the sleeves. Anyway, you're all celebrating this tradition just as people do in every corner of the globe. And we have a very special way of recognizing that you are now graduates. So all you people in red, white, and blue, would you please stand up now? Yes. And let me check, are your tassels on the left? Yeah, they're on the left. When I give the count, I want you to move them to the right. And that will signify that you have graduated in your program from Bow Valley College. And I'm going to do this on a count of 3, so grab that tassel. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, graduates. Feel free to throw your hats now. Thank you.
Now, isn't that a hard act to follow? Please be seated for just another couple of moments. I hope the young woman that had that marvelously decorated cap with the beads and whatever, I hope you didn't throw yours, did you? Well, before we conclude the ceremony today, I'd like to acknowledge our graduates and the family and friends of our graduates who have traveled from various parts of Alberta to celebrate today. They've made a special effort, and we'd like to acknowledge that. And of course, we acknowledge all of the friends and family members that have come to support their graduate. I'd also like to thank our readers, Carl DeSantis and Susan Hessel. You did a wonderful job reading names and directing traffic. I also wish to thank the many members of the Bow Valley College community who make this graduation a special occasion, not only for the graduates, but for all of us. And I have one final request. Would my fellow members of the platform please rise? And graduates, would you please remain seated as we'll be taking a class photo immediately following the conclusion of the ceremony. This will take about 10 minutes. And then we encourage graduates, family, friends, and faculty to stay and enjoy refreshments with us in the reception space directly through the entrances in the wall. And again, congratulations, graduates. Have a wonderful afternoon with your family and friends, and all best wishes in your future careers.